Okay, so this is a super awful, badly lit video, I understand, because it's like late at night and I am in my car and there's no natural sunlight outside. So I know this is hard to see, but I felt like I needed to say this and I need to say it right now. Because I just had a talk with somebody who is kind of was going down a shame spiral hole. And I wanted to talk to you tonight if you feel like you are going down a shame spiral hole, because what I felt like I said to this person that I talked to tonight, I feel like it's for more people. So what do you do when you're shame spiraling, when you feel like you've totally effed it up in every way, when you feel like you're just a mess, when you feel like you are at the end of the line, when you feel like, I've done it, I've gone so far, I've done it all, like there's no coming back for me. What I want, what God has said is going to happen for me isn't going to happen because I've just effed it up so much. What is the antidote to that? Is it, okay, I'm going to stop doing X, Y, and Z, and now I'm going to do A, B, and C? And is it putting a lot of boundaries and strict measurements on your heart? Measurements? Is that the right way to say it? I think that's what our tendency is to do. Immediately be like, okay, you're not doing this again. I'm going to get rid of this thing that makes me do this. I'm not going to go out with these people who convince me to do this. I'm going to, we think of all the practical things. But when you do things that you are ashamed of, when you do things that aren't good for your heart, which is when you start to develop shame, when you're doing things that don't bring you life, right? It's because your heart has a legitimate need and your heart is actually crying out for something, for life, for love, right? So it's the logical, rational answer isn't actually going to be the thing that's going to change your heart. What your heart needs is life and love, right? So how do you give your heart love? You start by going to that moment that you feel like, I suck. I'm so ashamed. I effed it all up. I'm like an awful person. I screwed it. I screwed it all up. You go to that moment, sit with yourself, feel the shame, experience the moment, feel the emotions, look at yourself in that moment. Look at yourself in the face, look at yourself in the eyes, and actually invite that person that messed it all up back into you, into your heart right here and right now. That person there, invite her or him back here and actually just sit with yourself and say, hey, Alyssa, or whatever, say your name. I love you. I love you in that moment that you screwed it up so badly. I love you in that moment that you are shame spiraling into. In that moment that I don't want to look at you. In that moment that I'm so embarrassed that that's you, that that's who you are, that you did that. I love you, I love you, I love you, even if you never change, even if you do that every single day for the rest of your life, I still choose to love you, I still pick you, I still think you're worth it, you're worth it, you're worth it, you're worth it, I love you, I love you, I love you. Sit with yourself and just say that, hey, it's okay that you did that, it's okay, you needed love, you were really scared, this was a really hard day, week, month, year for you. This was really difficult. You've never been here before. You don't know what you're doing right now, so it's okay that happened. It's okay that you're going through this. It's okay. I love you. Face yourself in that moment and just say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you no matter what you do. I pick you no matter what you do. I choose you. And the truth is that type of love over and over as you give it to yourself, that is what is going to change the behavior. It's not going to be all the outward kind of logical things that are going to change what you are so ashamed of yourself doing. It's going to be love, because what your heart is looking for, what you're going out of your, what you're doing all these things that you're ashamed of doing for, is because you actually want the love and you want the life. And God never said, don't do this, don't do that, because he wanted to give us a list of rules, because we were made to live from right and wrong. We actually weren't. God said, don't eat from the tree of good and evil, the knowledge of good and evil. Eat from the tree of life. So God actually really cares the most. Actually, I would say he only cares about life. He doesn't care about the right or the wrong. He cares about what gives you life. And it's not about you messed it up, you did wrong. Or, oh, you did this, this, and this, so you did right today. It's about no, hey, what is giving your heart life? What is giving you life and energy and flow and connection? What is giving you life? That is what I created you for, is to walk with me in the garden, to connect with me, to have life. And when we go off and do things we're ashamed of, It's because we actually desperately want life, because we want connection, because we want love. And that is always available. And it's available in your shame. It's available in your pain. It's available in your fear. And like, actually, there's a verse in Song of Solomon that says, I'm dark, but I'm lovely. I'm lovely. I'm lovely to you. And you can actually say that over yourself. You know what? That was a dark moment, but you are lovely. You are lovely. I'm lovely. You are lovely. I choose you. You're still beautiful. Because every single thing that you do, good or bad, and again, it's not about good or bad, it's about life. But life-giving or not life-giving, every single thing that you do, it's still you. It's still part of your story. You were still in that moment. So when you shame yourself, you're actually disassociating from yourself. You're disconnecting from you, and you're pushing yourself away. You're saying, hey, that's not what I want you to be, and I'm judging you, and I'm shaming you, and I'm putting you over there in the corner. You don't get to be a part of my heart. And that really hurts us when we disconnect from ourselves. And so the quickest way to get back into sync with yourself and with God is to face those moments of shame and fear and pain and actually say, hey, listen, I love you. You're still worth it. I still choose you. You know what? That was a dark moment, but it was still lovely. It was still lovely because it was still you, and I still choose you. I still choose you, and I still love you, and I am inviting you in that shameful moment. I'm inviting you back into my heart, and you still get to be a part of me. I still choose you. I am not pushing you away. I am not judging you. I still choose you. I choose to choose you. So if you are shame spiraling tonight, right now, this week, whenever you watch this video, if you are shame spiraling, go to that memory and love yourself in it, because you're worth loving no matter what you've done, no matter what you haven't done, no matter what you think about yourself. Love is not conditional. Love has zero conditions. Love chooses to love no matter what you do or no matter what you don't do. So God's love is fully available in every moment, but often we don't actually see it or feel it until we go to that moment and say, I also choose to love you. And I think that opens the floodgate for God's love to come in. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes we feel God's love first and then we feel our own love. But for me, the floodgate of God's love often comes when I say, hey, you know what? I pick you. I choose you. I love you no matter what you've done, because that is how God loves. So go to those shame spiraling moments, choose yourself, love yourself, pick yourself, invite yourself back into your heart tonight. I know that sounds sort of strange because we invite Jesus into our heart, but we are present and we live in our heart as well. That's what Jesus lives in our heart, we live in our heart. So we don't want to push pieces of ourselves out of our heart. We want all of us to be present, all of us to be available, all of us to be there and one with God. So we're fully connected, because that's what's going to give our heart life. You want to be connected to God in the shameful moments, and you want to be connected to yourself in the shameful moments, because that gives you life, the connection, that gives you life, that gives you love, and that is what your heart is looking for. And that is what's going to fix the things that you want fixed. And I say fixed because I actually don't think you need to be fixed. There's nothing about you that needs to be fixed. You actually just need to be loved. Your heart has always just longed for life. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to be changed. You already want to do the right thing. It's already in your heart, the right thing. It's already in your heart to just want life. That's what you were created for. It's the desire of your heart. You do things that you're ashamed of because you want that life, and you have a beautiful need and you haven't learned yet how to get it met. So start to meet that need for life and love by connecting back to yourself and by loving yourself in the place that you're ashamed of. And I promise you, the more you do this, the less you're going to do things that you feel awful about. The less you're going to do things that you feel ashamed about. You're not going to shame spiral as much, and you're not going to do things. You're going to be able to see really clearly, hey, that doesn't give me life. And it's not about right or wrong. It's not about someone telling me I should or shouldn't do something. It's legitimately that I love myself enough that I don't have to do that. And I know that I can get this need met for love and life in another area. I can give myself the love that I need. I can give myself life through connection to God, through connection to myself. There is life and love fully available. Everything my heart is searching for is already fully available. So I don't have to do anything that makes me feel awful the next morning. Okay. I hope that ministers to you. I hope that means something to you. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved right in this moment. Love happens in the present, no matter what you have done or haven't done. Love is right now available for you in this exact moment as you're watching this. You are fully, fully, fully loved. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful night. Love yourself. Bye.